Imagine if you heard what they went through and they went through a trauma that was similar to you, and that's what inspired them to start. And then you go and check them out and you're like, oh, they actually have potential, like they're talented. You're not going to be as focused on the quality because you know their story, you know where they came from, you know where it started from, so you can appreciate it more. And that's what Deep is all about. That's the beauty of it.
What's up, y'all? I know I haven't made a video in a very long time, but I am back again. My name was Jasmine, and I ran what was known as Off the Block magazine, but is now Deep Digital Mag and Marketing. And I wanted to make this official video to announce it, explain the rebrand, talk about the rebrand, and myself, and just like introduce y'all to what Deep Digital Mag really is. So I appreciate everybody that is already a subscriber. If you're watching this to see what's up, what's happening, hey. And if you're new here, you'll get to know my brand a little bit, and I appreciate, if you watched to the end. So be sure to hit subscribe, be sure to like this video, and everything like that, and let's just get into it. I just want to start off by talking about what Off the Block was to me and why I made it the way that it was. And I do have some notes over here. Okay, so we all love and know Off the Block, LLC, Off the Block magazine. And basically with Off the Block, I started that back in 2019. Off the Block was an urban hip-hop feel. It was about hustling. It was about hustling, going hard. My aesthetic was bold, loud, graffiti, ripped paper, like streets, like all of that. That was the vibe, like y'all get it. And I think that style came from trying to find a way to literally visually represent the block, because I called it Off the Block. When I was saying Off the Block, it was really, I wanted to give the streets a voice. I wanted to help people with, dreams and visions get off the block and be successful. I wanted to see that for them. So I literally put all of that into a brand. So basically I wanted to figure out how to literally represent the block. And keep in mind, I was like 17. I think I was 17 at the time when I started it. So the really only thing that I knew about the block, because I wasn't raised in the streets or anything, I was, I'm basing it off of Portsmouth and Norfolk, parts of Virginia that were more impoverished. And what I seen, I tried to embody what I was seeing from those areas, from those types of people. And with that, my brand was popular with Portsmouth and Norfolk, but beyond that, there was something blocking my success from growing bigger when I switched over to being Off the Block worldwide. And I think that the struggle with this became that I had to think as somebody else to run the brand. Like, I had to advertise from a mindset of communicate with my clientele, everything as if I knew anything about the streets, and that's not actually me, guys. I'm not a ghetto bitch. My parents are not. I'm not like super black, super hood, like nothing like that. Like, I'm myself, and like the brand wasn't resonating with how my personality actually is. It was literally the opposite of my actual personality. So here I am years later, all these people, all these rappers especially, who know and love my brand for Off the Block, and when they see me, they see Off the Block, but they don't know me. So when they meet me and I'm like this soft-spoken, like sweet, like nerdy type of girl, it's the opposite of what you would expect when you was looking at Off the Block originally online. It was an online platform. So I think that disconnection hindered the ability to create an actual lasting connection with my audience, because it went no further than connecting and loving this street feel, this urban essence. Then they meet me and all of that is kind of like out the window. I got tired of the type of audience that it was attracting to. I made it for people with vision, so I wanted a little bit of everything, but it turned into me being surrounded by male-dominated networks and male-dominated clientele, and I wasn't really expecting that, but I do understand, because that's the appeal that it gave. It gave masculine, it gave streets, it gave hustle, it gave grind, and basically the type of platform that those types of people would like to be associated with. with, especially in this area, because at the time there wasn't very much of that. I started off the block because there were no platforms really for people in this area that were rappers, that were singers, that were poets and stuff, to really get exposure, recognition, and do their shit. But now it is, so it's like, now that there's multiple platforms to choose from, I feel like it's even more reason to be able to just go ahead and switch it up and have it be true to myself and something that I'm actually more proud of. So that's where Deep Digital Mag and Marketing comes. Just the name alone, you can see the difference. You can see the difference in the growth. I was 17 when I started off the block, and now I'm 21. So of course, all that stuff that I was saying mixed with my actual morals and me finding myself and going through things helped me, so I grew, I changed, my mission changed, and now I'm embracing this. And this is something that's more it could probably stay way longer than what Off the Block could have lasted as. Deep is more of an embodiment of what I was actually passionate about with running Off the Block. The whole point to me was to get deeper into the minds and the hearts of my features, to put their stories out there to the world, because I want to be a journalist. And when I hosted my first event last year for Off the Block. I know a lot of y'all don't know because it was only but so many people in attendance, but I hosted an event called Deepish, and that was something true to my heart, because it was true to my heart and it was true to my mission. And when I had it, it wasn't really my features, the people that's actually featured on my site, the people I actually work with, that showed up. The rappers weren't there. The ones that were there left early and weren't really engaged when they were there.
Fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.
The photographers weren't there. The hood clothing lines weren't there. Nothing. It was the singers, the fashion designers, girls from high school who I loved the idea when the word got around to them about the event. People that didn't really know my brand, that resonated more with my actual personality and being interested in something that I was doing, that came out. And the event was called Deepish because it was a kickback for people who are visionaries and open-minded, deep, basically to come chill out, have a good time, have conversations, deep conversations where the whole room is engaged. It's something that's for open-minded people. Basically, I remember I was just very disappointed because I finally held an event for my brand and none of my actual features really were there. It was the outside people, and that's when it hit me. That's when I stepped back and realized maybe I need to reevaluate my brand market or something like that. Maybe I need to reevaluate who I'm marketing to, how I'm coming across, and everything like that, because this event felt pure to what I've always wanted. So Deep Digital is bougie, it's high quality, it's fine, cursive, fine print, modern, it's me, it's more me. It's not a facade anymore. It's not trying to represent the streets. It's actually me. Now, that doesn't mean that the types of people that I was working with before aren't included anymore, but the whole point now is really what the root of Off the Block was, to get deeper into conversations. Deep is about connecting with people who also see value in having deep conversations, who want to be known on a deeper level than their looks, who really take time to analyze themselves and what they do. People who work from their heart, not from their ego or for clout. People who aren't afraid to get deep and aren't afraid to get real. And on a lot of podcast platforms or anything like that, when they get real, they get intrusive, they get...
Tom, you've been rocking and rolling even longer than I have. How much of your brain do you think has turned to cottage cheese by now?
They get intrusive, they try to make it funny and everything like that. But my style really actually to talk and get to know you, get in your head and understand what you've been through, because if we learn each other's stories, that's really what helps people connect with each other. Understanding somebody mentally, then you'll go and check out their content because you can relate to that person, because somebody might not have, let's say, the money to invest fully into their craft, so the quality might be the talent might be there, but the quality might not be its fullest potential yet. So when you see it straight off the bat, if you did know their story, you might be like,
Man, you corny!
imagine if you heard what they went through, and they went through a trauma that was similar to you, and that's what inspired them to start. And then you go and check them out and you're like, oh, they actually have potential, like they're talented. You're not going to be as focused on the quality because you know their story, you know where they came from, you know where it started from, so you can appreciate it more. And that's what deep is all about. That's the beauty of it. When I would say off the block, especially like having it on my resume and stuff, people assume that it's something like ghetto or something already. Or I remember having an interview and she asked me like, okay, like off the block, like did you start that because of that Netflix show On My Block? And I'm like,
Really?
no. No, that doesn't even make any sense. Now on top of that, there's multiple platforms now. There's On My Block, there's Off the Block. Both of them really started getting more attention after I was already in existence. So I don't really like having like a competition like that, whereas like the names is that directly similar. So I like the fact that this embraces actually what I'm trying to get to, and I feel like it'll help me. It'll help everybody, it'll help me, it'll help y'all. Like even whenever you promote it, people are gonna know like this is something real. This is something, real. So Deep Digital Mag is a representation of my personality professionally wrapped into a brand, so that when they meet the brand, in a sense, they're meeting me. Deep is raw, real, beautiful, and deep. You gotta dig deep to find the purest gold and the most beautiful crystals. So in a sense, it's a metaphor for that. And that really wraps up like the difference between off the block and deep and like the whole rebrand thing, because we're just getting away from the streets and getting deep. So now we're getting off the block basically, and I do want to explain a little bit about what the rebrand is going to be, if you're already familiar with off the block. So with this rebrand, I'm still offering the same services, but as the name does state, it's Deep Digital Magazine and Marketing, because I am a specialist when it comes to social media managing, marketing, graphic design, web design. I do all of that, cover art design, and I really want to embrace that, the fact that I offer all of that, journalism, so I write the articles. So basically now what Deep Digital Mag and Marketing, that includes being able to have articles written, like biographies about you, being able to get cover arts designed, being able to set up photo shoots, being able to have a website design, business cards, everything. The way that I'm looking to set up the feature packages now is that they will include article biography as before, promotional posts to promote you and your article, of course, and also being able to have a custom magazine cover design and printed on business cards that on the back you'll have a QR code that will go directly to your article link, so that way people can find it easier and learn about you, and you can start conversations about the stuff that you've been through in your story.
You're a genius.
And I think that will help bring more exposure to not only to me, but to you especially, because if they're connecting with you, I feel like they're way more prone to connect with your product or your music or your content once they read your story. Even if they glance through it, once they see some pictures, if they see a few sentences, some things that stick out to them, they're going to be more prone to want to support you than it would be if they didn't know anything about you and you're just another random person off the street telling them that you do something, because nowadays it's way too much competition. So this actually adds a conversation to it. And the way that I write my articles, I wanted to call this Deep Digital Mag because it's straight to the point that it is a digital magazine. With Off the Block, a lot of people, I would feel insulted because a lot of people would say like, oh, you have a blog. And it wasn't a blog at all, because it's a digital magazine. It's a difference, because a blog is more personal. It's about your personal opinion. This is a collection of biographies that are written as professional biographies about what you've been through in your life. So I definitely suggest like going and reading through some of my articles if you haven't before. I do get deep, I get real, and I actually go through their full story from beginning to end, where they're from, where they were born at, how they were raised, what inspired them to want to get into business, what their challenges are, the traumas that they've been through, their business challenges. You can really learn people like that. And the beauty of it too is that if you're in Virginia, most of my features are all from this area. So a lot of them end up networking with each other and knowing each other because they read each other's articles and they end up making friends. So that's a beauty in it too. So I'm very excited about this rebrand. I'm excited for Deep, and I am just like super excited. And I hope that everybody also understands where I'm coming from with this rebrand. So it's not fully goodbye to Off the Block. It's still a similar concept. But we're changing the name around, we're changing the aesthetic around, and y'all are gonna get to know me more. When I started Off the Block, I was anonymous about my identity, and it's no more of that. Y'all are gonna get to connect with a real person, with real people, and everything. So Deep Digital Magazine is what it is now. And I guess while I'm making this video,
I need to get down to business.
Branding was very hard. Didn't realize how much work was going to go into rebranding, because I have to update my LLC name. I have to pay to get a new domain name for my website. I have to update my website because everything has Off the Block this, Off the Block that on it. I had to go and update all my social medias. I have to get new business cards printed. I have to design like a whole bunch of new flyers and marketing stuff with the new aesthetic for it. So if you are also a business owner and you're thinking about rebranding, please just be prepared for all the work you have to do. I tried to watch YouTube videos on rebranding, and I really didn't see too many mentioning the fact that it was going to be so much work. They just talk about rebrand is and why it's important to rebrand, and give examples of other businesses that rebranded and how it's good and everything, but they don't talk about the nitty-gritty of the fact that you're going to have to go in and do all this technical stuff to change it around, then get people familiar to the idea that you still have the same brand but a different brand at the same, like, I know y'all get it. That sounds like a lot because it is a lot. So yeah, the rebrand has been difficult. That's why I disappeared for so long, because I disappeared from Off the Block for about a year now. Maybe, I think it's been over a year since I posted my last article, because I had to go through things. I had to find myself, and I knew that something wasn't right, but I couldn't pinpoint exactly what it was. But now I'm 21, I finally got everything together, and I realized exactly what it was. It was the fact that I wasn't enthusiastic about it anymore because it wasn't fully me whenever I was doing stuff as the brand and the type of clientele that I was attracting. So Deep Digital Magazine is not only exclusive to people under, like, I think I have for like people under 25 or people under 30. I've realized now, that I'm 21 and not 17, that people can be, basically there's all types of amazing people, and there's a lot of people that end up starting late for various reasons, whether they were in jail or they just procrastinated or they had kids or they went to college. Anything can happen, and that doesn't take away from their success, their story, their success, and the fact that they're willing to get deep with me. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I just thank everybody that's been a supporter of Off the Block and that will continue to support Deep Digital Mag and Marketing. And I got plenty in store for you guys.
I got you.
I got some new interviews on the way. Grateful for everybody that's still here, and we're just growing from here. So yep, I'm checking out though, and I think the slogan that I came up with is actually what I used earlier. I had to dig deep to find the purest gold. Yeah, I think that's gonna be our slogan. You gotta dig deep to find the purest gold, because yeah dig deep to find the purest gold, because if the deeper that you dig in yourself, the more real shit that you're gonna realize, and the more real product that you can produce and I think that's really amazing. So yeah, so get deep, get real. We're doing all of that 2022 and beyond. So super excited. Bye Off the Block. Hello Deep Digital Mag and Marketing. Oh, and you can follow us on socials at be sure to follow us on social media as well. I'm on Instagram, or you can Google me at Deep Digital Mag. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Instagram now is Deep Digital Mag, and on Google, if you type in Deep Digital Mag and Marketing, you'll see it as well. And if you do already know us, I would appreciate if you left a 5-star review about the brand and about me, because I do work very hard to do all of this and to provide this platform for you guys. So yep, thank you so much, and until my next video, that's all I got for you guys. So yep, follow us, check out the articles, check out the website most of all, because that's where the heart of everything is. That's the magazine. So yep. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was very informative for why I decided to rebrand. And until my next video, I will see you guys next time.